This is Chicago's Afternoon News. I'm Lisa Dent. Steve Bertrand is here. Kevin Powell, Mary Vandevelde. And on the phone is State Rep Tom Morrison representing the 54th District. Not only are you a parent with kids in that district, you taught school in that district. And Steve Bertrand just told me you were an intern here.
Many years ago, yes.
Many, Tom. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on.
So you've got a unique perspective of this because not only are you the state rep for that area, but being a parent and having taught in that district gives you some inside information.
Just to clarify, I didn't teach in the district, but I taught in the northwest suburbs, and that also was many years ago.
What happened yesterday at Fremd High School?
Well, I don't know that we're going to know all the details. I know that the school officials worked very swiftly to address a really troubling situation. What I read in the Daily Herald was that there was a student who was unmasked, and another student, revealed a knife, and there was some kind of threat made. But I think the school dealt with it very swiftly. The Palatine police came out, and they dealt with the situation.
Seemed to be a pretty chaotic day at most schools yesterday. What have you heard from your constituents?
Well, again, this is unnecessary chaos, and I leave it at the feet of the governor because he just continues to insist on ending these mandates only on his own terms. And as a legislator, it's been incredibly frustrating. Well, again, as a legislator, as a parent, as a concerned community member, we have pushed on the governor for 2 years. Involve other parties, involve your co-equal branches of government. Let's have some hearings on this, on the pros and cons of what we're doing with these mitigations. And he's refused to do it. It's been a top-down approach, and now this unnecessary chaos really is at his feet. And we finally had one of our other co-equal branches of government weigh in and say definitively, the governor has overstepped his bounds. He's abused his executive authority.
Representative, isn't your beef really with the Democratic leadership of the legislature? I mean, they're the ones who aren't stepping up and demanding sort of some control or some input on all of this.
Well, of course, and I've talked to many of my colleagues about this. I have filed bills, other colleagues have filed bills to say, let's just provide some clarity in this Emergency Management Act that a governor cannot just continually issue 30-day executive orders infinitum. It's not working. I will tell you, a lot of them are fearful. I mean, it's a big deal to go up against a billionaire governor who is the head of your party and is willing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in campaigns, either promoting his own agenda or going against people that stand up to him. So that's why I think you've seen silence on the Democratic side.
Well, it looks like there's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars coming out of other people's pockets to support his opponents as well, and that's kind of sad. Well,
that remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. But here we are, in February of 2022, and we're dealing with a chaotic situation because the governor wants to end this on his own terms. And I put out a post yesterday just reminding parents, because I get it, there's a ton of anxiety, but this has been a small number of adults, a relatively small number of adults, and I include the media in this too, in driving a fear narrative for 2 years. And now we're starting to see the effects of this as we're going mask optional in some of these school districts or even parochial schools.
So here we are. Here we are waiting for the appellate court's decision. Some schools, the ones that were party to the suit, can go without masks. What others aren't. What's your advice for parents, whether or not you support or think masks are a good idea?
Well,
you know what I'm saying, Representative? I mean, if the school says keep your masks on for now, are you recommending that they go in and have the kids take them off, or just wait this out for a couple of weeks?
Well, I think I agree with the Sangamon County judge that said that the governor has overstepped his bounds. He has violated state law. If anything, this should be a local decision. And we have school districts, school boards that have had, board meetings about this, a lot of parental input. I would just stress also that there needs to be calm on both sides. We need to act as calm, responsible, mature adults, because there is going to be disagreement. But I'll say, to those who are fearful, I just want to remind you, Illinois is surrounded by states that have been mask optional for months or longer. And that is the reality. And Illinois has been kind of in a bubble. And now that these masks are optional, the mental health aspects of this are really coming into focus. And what I'm hearing from parents, because again, a lot have reached out to me, I'm a parent of 4, is that a lot of these children are very, very fearful of either taking down a mask or of being in proximity with a student who's not wearing a mask. And the fact is, kids have not been nearly at risk as the media or as adults have been. We can see now, 2 years of this, there have been a segment of adults that have been the riskiest, in the riskiest categories, but we've got vaccines available to anyone who wants them. We have boosters available to anyone who wants them. If individuals, teachers, or students want to wear N95s in schools, again, we're saying make it optional, but allow this to be a parental decision or a local decision rather than just a top-down approach from Governor Pritzker.